My name is Francisco Castellanos. Tim tells me, hurting is not there. You got shortened, only her mother called it that. My name was shortened when I got into my first day of class in Indiana. I was born in the mining stream. It's farm worker. When I started school in Indiana, in the Midwest of the United States. I was the only Spanish speaker in the class. It was a very small country school. My teacher couldn't pronounce my name, so she decided I was not going to be called Francisco, I was going to be called Frank. So since then I've been Frank in school. We're going to be wanting to see if we can get you some information about UMOS. UMOS started out as a migrant servicing organization. Migrant recently, the title has been confused with a lot of the children that are coming across now, a lot of the people that are coming across now from Central America, South America, other countries, and they're flooding the United States. They're being called migrants. Actually, they're immigrants. Migrants have been around in this country since the Korean War. It was in the 1940s. So we were invited in by President Truman under something that we call bracero. Bracero is a Spanish word that means arms. They needed labor. They needed hands to fix work in the field because a lot of the men would be drafted and taken to war. In the 1940s, that program started. They had people in, and it stayed in effect all through these years. When my family came to the United States, my father was a farmer. He was involved in Mexico in something called the hectares. Programa de hectares. The hectares is like an acre, except that's in Spanish. I don't know if you're familiar with Abraham Lincoln signing the proclamation to free the slaves that were brought in from Africa. They started a program called 40 acres and a mule for people that wanted to farm. They could give them 40 acres, give them a mule to start to support them. Well, the president of Mexico modeled his program after that. Presidente started a program like that. And my father became what is called hectarista. He got 40 hectares and a mule and an old tractor. And that was in the early 1900s. He started farming right across the river here. I live in Westico. Westico is 7 miles from the Mexican border, just about 20 miles east of here. So this is along the Mexican border. People are very familiar with the traffic going back and forth. Well, my father started farming in that area, just 5 miles from the United States, and there were 40 of them that started farming. They had no other programs. They didn't have Vidra. Where were you? 100 years ago.
20 years ago?
100 years ago. My dad here.
I used to live here.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously, they didn't have these kinds of services in Mexico, and maybe for the farmers here. But the fact of the matter is that our roots are probably 7 years. Coming from farm workers, coming from people that work the land and work the farms. And it just so happened that here in Hidalgo County, according to the USDA, this county has the largest number of minority farmers and ranchers, and a lot of ranch and oil and gas down here in South Texas. The largest number of farmers and growers in the country. are right here. But obviously, there's not that many anywhere in the country. Now, particularly minorities, whether they be Hispanic or African American or Native American or any other kind of minority. So we've got to do the same thing that these are doing. We're doing outreach. We're trying to find where folks are, particularly the minority farmers, and because we service the people that you use to work your lands. They are the human resource that is so valuable to making your operation go. Right now, so many people can't farm because of the pandemic. There's an article in there about how the pandemic, in the information we gave, there's an article in there about how the pandemic affects agricultural workers and the cost to you, the growers, the folks trying to farm, and trying to get labor without having to be affected by COVID. And it really has affected this industry a lot. But then all industries have been affected. As we're coming out, we're trying to reach out to people and let you know that we're here to try to see if we can provide support to this industry by making sure that we have appropriate workers for the kind of work that you need to do on your farm and in your businesses. UMOS, the acronym started out as United Migrant Opportunity Services in Wisconsin. Started out in 1965. I'm 74 years old, and in 1965 is when I graduated from high school. So it's been a long time that this organization has been around. And they started out with a small grant from the Department of Health and Human Services, and at that time it was called the Office of Economic Opportunity, to provide 4 Head Start centers in Wisconsin. From that small beginning, they are going into this year. It is a $95 million operation. Started out with just a few employees. It now has over 900 employees, over 7 or 8 states. And this program that Estela Levine, associate, is going to be speaking about here in a minute, is specifically for the Texas area. There's a little corner of the Head Start services market that we're a part of. Head Start services are all over the country. You probably know some private companies that are providing Head Start services or daycare services in the communities. They're very expensive if they're private. They charge you a pretty penny to take care of your children while you go to work. And then there are public agencies, also all over the country, that provide Head Start services for children through grants from the government. In this county alone, there are at least 3 major funding sources for Head Start services. And we're one of them. We're one of the smaller ones, actually. The largest one is through the county itself. They get funding from the state, from block grant money, and Peter was saying the money just kind of, during a couple times, it's being offered to a lot of the organizations, and one of our sister organizations just got an additional $5.5 million to serve, to provide assistance services for the children that are in the program. UMOS was funded for this county and for 4 other counties down here in South Texas. We are providing services in one county that is not contiguous to Mexico, and it's called Brooks County. If you drove down here, I went to drove down here from Houston, that, you probably know through, Corpus Christi, Wessex County. We have a county that's just, next door to Corpus Christi. We provide services in that county. Because down here, we provide services always from Brownsville to Rio Grande City, to Roma. And it's a pretty large territory, but it used to be all agriculture. When I was growing up here, that's why we were involved in agriculture, because we would go up north there, and during the summers and then during the winters, we come back to the United States, to the southern part of the United States, and we would work in other jobs. My family would, and we did that for years. Less and less people are doing that, but the more need there is, the more mechanized it's become. So there's some more information in your handouts that will tell you a little bit about the mechanization that's happening in agriculture. Because if it's small farms, it's very difficult for you to buy a $100,000 machine job area 5 acres. So the fact is, you're going to either do a lot of work yourselves, or you're going to hire hand laborers to go in there and help you to do the farming, or your family members. So the history that H.O.P.E has is that many of the employees that we had still have a history of having either themselves, the old people like me, the part of the organization, and the younger folks like Stella, whose parents and probably grandparents were involved in agriculture. So we've been involved in agriculture at least a couple of generations, maybe 3 generations going back, and some many generations. So our heart is in the work that we do, and so it's imperative for us to reach out to you and to tell you the kinds of, just like USDA provides services, and these are the kinds of things that she was talking about in terms of the services that are available to USDA for the farmers and the ranchers and the growers. There's a whole nother line of support for the farm workers themselves. And the reason that's there is so that they can become productive members of society as well. We're talking to them about their goals and objectives in the H.O.P.E program to take folks that are struggling in small farms, or maybe are workers in the small farms, and make them self-sufficient. It's a perfect fit for us to work with H.O.P.E and to work with people that H.O.P.E brings from different communities. So as you invite Diana and the organization to meet with your associates, we hope that you'll invite us to tag along. Because we were curious and taking a look about all the different opportunities that we need to take advantage of to provide the kind of services to the folks that we need, so that they can be better workers for you as well. I know you've been listening to a lot of different presentations, and it's a long time you guys have to get back to Houston. So there's a lot more information that you can read about us in the books that we have. I just still wanted to make sure that we gave an overview of what H.O.P.E was over the long term. We're here for the long term. Our branch is for 5 years. We just got it this year. And so we expect to be here. And H.O.P.E has been around, like I said, since 1965. Started with a small branch. We're up to almost 1,900 and some of the boys, almost 1,000 employees. And we expect to be here for another 15 years. Our director, to give you one example of how stick to it there is in the organization, because of him. He became the executive director 15 years ago. He's been running this organization for 15 years. He's been on 51 years. And I was working part-time a few years ago. I'm already retired. I was retired twice. But he's a gentleman that I've known for years and years and years. He asked me to see if I could help him to get the program. We could go out and look to get it funded. We did that for about 3 years. We finally did it, we got it funded. I said, okay, I'm gonna go back to being retired. He said, no, you're not. He said, matter of fact, I need for you to come back to work full time. And I said, you realize that I'm 74 years old? And he said, well, you realize that I'm 75 years old. He said, so I'm not going anywhere. As long as I'm not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere. So my hip hurts, so I want to sit down and study because my older age.
I just want to share a little information about our program. I work for my seasonal head start program, which is what UMOS is, one of the entities. And so we serve children from 6 weeks of age to 5 years of age, compulsory school age. So in order to qualify for our program, you have to work in agriculture. So when the families come from up north working, most of the slots for Hidalgo County Head Start are already full. So we exist for those families so that we can be able to serve them so they can continue to work, right? So we have centers from Roma to Brownsville. We have 20 centers, and we do eligibility. In order for them to qualify, they have to, more than half of their income has to be derived from agricultural work. So your employees can have, well, so our program is like preschool services, like from 8 to 3 p.m. And we do transportation. We pick up the kids at the house and we drop them off, and the teachers are all certified to individualize per child. Like if you work in agriculture, or your employees, your children can qualify for a program so that we can care for them while you're at work. And they individualize like according to the child's needs. Whatever it is that you want to work with the teacher to know what goals you want for that child to achieve specifically for your child, not because everybody's different, right? So that's why we exist. So this is some of our program information, and I just wanted to pass this because I know you guys are not from here. So this information, if you have employees, so you guys can share information about yourself to us so that we can, if we need to expand to where you're at, and you have employees that you need to serve, you need them to have childcare so they can go to work, so that we can maybe look into having a center over there where you guys are at, where you guys have your families working.
Have you this story?
We haven't, but we didn't know the need is there. But if we see that there's a need, we put it in our community assessment for the next year budget. And if the Office of Head Start approves it, we go look and see.
Especially when they have a grant for 5 years.
Yeah, to expand. But we have to, like, you guys are growers. You guys are going to give us what information you share with us. This is part of our community assessment to be able to share with the government. Say, look, we have these families that need to be served. Nobody's there to serve them. Can we extend our services to this location? You know what I mean? So that we can, if they allow us to, we can extend. But this is a big part of it, identifying the need. Does anybody have any questions? And we have so one of the things that is, our program is very special. And if you guys look into our program is very special because we only have, like for the little ones, the children 6 weeks of age to 2 years of age, we have 2 teachers for 8 kids. So 8 children and 2 teachers. And they're watching like 100% supervision. Like we have to follow the guidelines of and our program is very strict, and we take pride in our work. One of the things that I do and I've done for 17 years is I'm a family service advocate. So I help the parents to be able to advocate for themselves and for the children. My mom and my dad were from Mexico, my mom would always say, well, whatever the teacher says, she's always right? Whatever the teacher says. And as I grew up, like, it's not always what the teacher says, right? So I try to teach the parents that they have rights. They can speak for their children and teach their children to speak for themselves. Because not always people are gonna look to see what's better for you. Anybody have any questions? Okay,
So I have a question.
Yes.
The program was to help them become self-sustaining, right? So does that mean that if they decide they want to take English classes, or
Yes.
they want to take
So
other
that's
classes,
another thing.
that would also pay for what expenses? The kids or the parents?
The parents and the children. Like if the parent says, I want to go to school, we help the parents go to school to pay for their schooling, whatever it is, like they do with the employees also. So the parent just has to say what they're, like, I want to learn English, or I want to go to college, or, it's not only for the children, it's for the parents also. We help them, we establish goals that the parent wants. What do you want to do? I want to buy a farm. I want to build a house. So we refer to services that will help them, and we're there the whole time. You even have, what do you call it? We have a parent center committee and a parent policy council. You guys have a voice in the whole agency to approve policies, procedures, everything. The parents have a voice in that program. Yeah, it's a big deal.
I have a question. When I need to go to school, the school will pay for me.
They have grant money to help parents pay for school. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yes.
just for the kids, but not for the adults.
No, for the adults.
Do they have for adults?
For adults.
Like if I wanna,
Uh-huh.
like
So say you want.
now I want to opportunity in my education,
Uh-huh.
but sometimes funding, I mean, you doesn't allow
Small baby, they have to
family,
take
your
care.
children, school, you also want to go to school.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a whole family thing.
So you end up like, okay,
You understand?
for now, I'll just let my kids continue to school.
Mhm.
But if I want to still continue, but you have that limit of,
Mhm.
yeah,
You have, like, if you
let's
say,
say right now I want to go to school.
Mhm. If your child is enrolled in my program and you say, I want to continue college, so I'll refer you, and if to help you apply for financial aid and everything. If you don't qualify, you bring us your letter where it says you don't qualify, and we submit a request for our program to pay for that. Those classes you're gonna take. Yeah, whatever the parent wants. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes.
Because like now, I can
So the only thing is that your child does need to be enrolled in our program. Yeah, the child needs to be enrolled in our program. But still, you can call me, because there's other programs that can help, yeah. And I know how those programs.
because like
Yeah. Especially if you work in agriculture.
To school.
Yeah.
Let me just add something to that, because there's a lot of questions about how
I think that is.
the services
Yeah.
we provide
So they can.
during
Yeah, no, this is just,
Me, I want.
Yeah.
Now we operate over.
because there's other programs that help families who work in agriculture to pay for school. There's Visa, there's several other programs that we can refer you to so they can help you. Yeah. So I know about, I'm sorry, I didn't.
As Estella was saying, we have a lot of different programs. Just to give you an example,
Yeah.
at the headquarters that we have in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, after we started growing, started getting more and more grants, we went out and bought a building, I believe it was something like a Kmart, one of those big box stores that went bankrupt. We bought it. The organization bought it. We got over something like 50,000 square feet. Now, anybody that's worked into that operation
Yeah,
that
if
we
you
have in
can figure out
Wisconsin,
today, yeah, so I can take it with me.
you can get everything from pet services.
That's fine, you can send it to me.
And there's some food in there.
Members.
Mangoes.
Yes, that's fine, yes, yeah.
Yes, yeah, address.
You can even get a price by going into a facility. All kinds of things. And we're gonna try.
I think, you wanna put your name and I'll make a copy of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That way, we can share it with them. If you wanna write your name and stuff on a piece of paper, yeah, and I can give it to everybody. We can make a copy.
So my name is Estela Treviño, and then,
Yeah, I'll make a copy of it.
and then, I didn't have any cards. And this is our phone number, or this is our 800 number also. So then, but she's gonna make a copy of my phone.
Yeah,
Okay, so, I'm Estela Treviño.
well,
And if you have anybody where you're going to go back to, your community that wants to participate in our community survey, you can make copies and give it to me, or I have more copies. You can take them,
yes.
yeah? And then have
Yeah, we're gonna make a copy of your phone number now.
Yeah, so that's it. That was my question that I wanted to ask. My children, we graduate from principal together, but he can't be able to help. Because they have children and no one to take care of their children. No one to go to school and the children have to go to school. So that's a big problem. So I think the best thing as she was saying, it is good for us to post it over there. So most of the parents can do. But those are the concerns of the parents. I can be in the farm and then I have a child at the farm there. While I'm concentrating on anything and I have to look up to the child. So it's a new program that maybe I think it's better for everyone to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We can know it.
And you can sign us, and you
Yeah, so what talking about that process that we can be able to advance both parents that are very, very interested. And afterwards, our parents that want to care for people take care of them. And then when they say they are talking about children in daycare, it's not easy for them to pay the amount that the daycare is pay for them to start a farm. Because starting farm is you have to invest in yourself. Yourself. So you invest in your money in the farm, then you have to invest in jackets, and you have to go to school. So it's not an easy task for them. So actually, if people can go there and see, like we had maybe watch our house, a lot of parents your organization wants is this because people will go
we have to identify that need and like all these parents,
it's good for you to get information that can give you if you find it that you don't have much information, maybe you need to find even though we have a small portion there. I will also guide people. We find it in a way how can I get information? How can I then we are not getting none of that from us.
and then we have the solution, and then we have the but if there, if you guys have seen,
So let me from the other my son, so my exactly from 7 years, and the other one have from 4 to 8. So it's like the big opportunity for
Yeah,
all of
but it's
them.
free, everything's free.
So we all that here, all those summer on the everybody has to and it's inside you can see.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's not easy for us. So if we see the opportunity, we actually want to so that most of our friends will yes. So more family can do that.
And we can make a video for the show, what kind of things we do in the classroom. So you guys know where you're giving your children, like where, who they're gonna be with, what kind of certifications that we have to be able to teach these children appropriately, right? So I think you're excited. So just send me those whenever you guys have some. You guys have your certificate, how to follow up, who takes ID of your and I have one of you guys.
That's one half for but
I have the phone number on the top. Yes, disregard the rest because you already have it.
Are you gonna send her here?
Yes, it's you want it to the right phone number. There. But you got two of these. You have two. What? No, you have two papers like this, but one has her phone number on it. Yeah. We just want it for her name.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I can send you we'll keep in touch. Yeah. So we can determine what you get on my agents. Yeah. In your area. And you look, they're
Now you will send you for what
whatever you want to learn about information-wise, you can tell her, and we can network with all these different organizations to bring that information to you. You just have to say, you know what, I want to learn about this, or I want to know if there's funding for this, if there is a program for this. There's so many different organizations, and you just ask, and we can find them, whoever it is.
I'm so excited to meet you guys.
Well,
I look forward to talking to you and to working with you guys.
Well, I'm gonna prepare you.
Yes.
That there's more people in farming that are immigrants coming into the U.S. that are not Hispanic.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that are not Hispanic. They are doing a fabulous job over there, and they're making this small space into a huge productive
That's awesome.
thing. So
How exciting.